Good morning and hello to all my friends out there in second grade. Hey, this is Mrs. K. Many of you already know me because I've been coming into your schools and your classes, but for those of you who don't, my full name is Mrs. Copenhaver, and I come out and I teach classes at your schools from a place called Compass Mark. We teach lessons about all sorts of things that all have an effect on our communities and our ability to understand ourselves and how well we get along with everyone. Since we're not able to see each other in school anymore, we're trying to do some lessons from our homes. Now, as I teach my lessons, you may see some furry four-legged friends who sometimes pop up behind me in our video. Those would be my two cats. The big one, that would be Snowball. He's kind of the lead at the house. The little one, well, that would be our Mystery. It's a mystery where she came from, but she sure is a part of the family now. That said, I just wanted you to know you might see them from time to time. Today, I'm going to start off with the first lesson that I usually teach when I come to a second grade classroom, and that is talking about what a community is. Because everything that we learn from this point forward will build on skills that are going to help us in our everyday communities. So, if I was in class with you, I would ask all of you, can you tell me, what do you think a community is? Well, let me give a couple minutes here for you to think. Well, communities can be a lot of different things in a lot of different places. We normally meet in your school community. Specifically, we meet in your classroom communities. Oh, so now you're starting to think about it. A community is a place where a group of people can gather together. And when they gather together, they're there to do different things together. At school, well, what do you go to school to do? Think about it. That's right, you go to school to learn. You learn from your teachers. You learn from each other, from your friends. So, now not only do you go to school to learn, though, do you also get to have fun at school? Well, sure you do. Each day, you have time that's called recess, right? You get to go out, you get to just relax and have fun and play with your friends. So in your school community, you learn together there and you play together there. You also kind of work together there, don't you? You do the work that your teachers give you. Now, where might be some of the other communities where we participate in things? Well, if you're thinking about home, where your house is your neighborhood, right? That's your community where you live. Neighborhoods can be in small towns, can be out in the country, could be a big city. But again, it's where groups of people come together and they live together there. Now think about, are there communities that mom and dad participate in? If you are thinking and you said where mom and dad work or where somebody else in the family might work, then you would be right. That's a community that they go to, their job, and it's where all of the people come together there to work together. So communities come in all shapes and all different kinds of sizes. But the one thing that's true in every community is we have to learn the ways that we can get along with each other and we can work well together. One of the things that helps us do that in a community is something called values. Values. I wonder what values could be. Well, let's stop and think about that again. Well, I'm sure that some of you are sitting at home right now thinking values are numbers. Like we can add 2 plus 2, or we can multiply 2 times 3. That gives us a value, right? Okay. But that's not the type of values that I'm talking about. The type of values that I am talking about are the things that we value, and that means there's something that we believe is important. So let me write this up here. Okay? Hopefully you can all see my paper up here. Values. That's what we're talking about right now. All right? Values are beliefs we share with others. Okay? Beliefs that we share with others. Okay? So now let's think about what are some of the beliefs that we may share with others. Well, I'm thinking about things that are important to me. And sometimes those beliefs or things that are important to us are reflected in maybe the rules or the laws that we live by in our communities. So let's kind of think about it from your classroom community. When you're at school, are there rules or guidelines that you use when you're at school each day in your classroom that show the things that are important to you guys? So let's think about that. Well, there's some things that may also be reflected from home. For instance, the 3 R's. I think there's the 3 R's. Respect, responsibility, and being ready to learn, right? Are those 3 things that you and your teachers and your school community believe are important? Well, sure we all do. Respecting each other, being responsible for our actions and for our own work. Those are all things that we do that are based on our values. We value being treated with respect. And so we value treating others with respect as well. What are some of the ways that you show respect to each other at school? I can tell you some of the things that I see and the ways that I see you guys show respect. Whenever I come into your classrooms, I see respect from the students when I ask a question and people raise their hands and wait for me to call on them. That's one way that we show respect. I see respect as well when I come into a class and I start teaching a lesson and everyone is sitting quietly, using their good listening ears and skills, and they're not talking to their friends while the lesson's being taught. That's a really big one, isn't it? Being a good listener is something that I really value, and it's a really great way for us to show respect to each other and to help us get along with one another in our communities. Now, let's think. Being responsible. Okay, it's another great value, isn't it? There's lots of different ways that we can be responsible. Like if we're in our classroom and our teacher gives us an assignment and tells us something to do. What would be the responsible thing to do? You're right. The responsible thing to do would be to do what the teacher has asked us to do. We call that following directions, don't we? Let's say I wasn't necessarily being the best listener, so I wasn't using that value of respect. And I didn't hear what the teacher had to say. What would be the responsible thing to do then? If you were raising your hand or thinking to yourself, well, I need to ask the teacher if she or he can tell me again what to do, then that would be the right answer. When we're being responsible, we also let someone know if we weren't doing what we were supposed to do and didn't hear something, and we then ask them if they can tell us again. That's being respectful and responsible because you're taking responsibility for your own action, that I wasn't being a good listener. And you're letting them know that they're important by saying, I still want to do what you asked of us. I just need you to tell me again. So values are a really important part of our everyday communities. They help us set our laws, they help us set our rules, and they are really important for making our communities work well together. Now, something I think would be a great idea for you to do is, in all of this time that you have together as families, if you've been listening to this short video with a family member, maybe the two of you can take a little time after you're done listening to this and maybe make a poster of your family values, the things that are important to each of you as you spend all of this time together that make your family work, that help you all to get along well with each other. What are your family values? Make a great creative poster that you can display somewhere in your home that teaches everyone that walks in through your door about the values that make your family community work. Those are the same things that you can do in the other communities that you participate in. Think about those. How do you use those wherever you go? So, boys and girls, that would end today's lesson as we open up talking about our communities. And I want you to be thinking about those values. What makes your community work, whether it's at home or at school. But see if you can do that simple activity with your family. Use this time to really connect with each other and talk about what is important. And tune in tomorrow, and I'll have another lesson for you guys. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of different things. Some of them will be about our feelings and emotions. Some will be about what does it take to be a really good listener, showing that value of respect. So tune back in tomorrow. See what's in store for then. I'll have something new and different to talk about. And we'll come up with another activity that you can be doing at home with your family as you learn together. Okay? Thank you all very much. And I hope you guys are having a great day. And I'll look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.